Hi, thanks for reaching out with your question. So what I have on the left here is your book, like the ebook. And so we're working on this problem number 2. Over here I have the answers for it. So the very first one, we're going to create a view called reservation underscore customer, which I think you are okay with that, right? So wait, where am I at? I'm down here. Reservation customer as, and then you're going to select from the 2 different tables where the customer number is um, equal, right? That's the join there is a where statement. Then in the second one, write and execute a command to retrieve the location for every condo in the condo. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I keep hitting the air. Okay, write and execute a command to retrieve reservation ID, trip date, and customer last name for every reservation in the reservation customer view, right? So I'm assuming you understood that because you didn't ask about that one, right? So select all of these from reservation customer. And then the where clause here is just the trip date, right? We don't need to do a join because the view already did that join up here in part A. But then it's asking, write and execute the query that the database actually executes, which would be you now want to do this same process, but from the tables and not from the view, right? So on the view, remember the view only saves the answer. So when you execute or when you run the view, it creates uh, the result set from whatever's in the underlying table, right? Step C means they want you to, and I think they kind of write it poorly how they're asking you, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to do the same process, but this time on the tables. And the thing that you want to realize here is because we're looking at the underlying tables, right? The base table, you have to do the join. Whereas up here in the step B, since you're doing it from the view and you're just limiting it to that date, you don't have to do the join because you already did it when you created the view. So that was one step that you don't have to do when you're executing the query from the view. But in step C, they want you to do it from the base table. So you're going to end up with the same answers, but what they're trying to demonstrate is the difference of using the view versus doing it straight from the base table. So it's almost identical here, right? Select all of these things from, but here instead of from the view, which you did in B, you're going to have to do from reservation, comma, customer, where, and then you're going to use the where join like you did when you created the view, right? So demonstrating that the view is going to limit what you have to do when you use the view, because whatever's done when you create the view, you don't have to repeat that. Okay, so that's a good demonstration of those two things. And then D, does updating the database through this view create any problems? And because this view involves a join of something other than the primary key, you cannot update the database, right? Because you're joining on customer number, which is not the primary key. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Let me know if you still have questions. All right, it is a little bit the instructions are not that clear, so I appreciate that you asked. All right, thank you.